which is when people are new to a new question like this, or an immense problem or challenge like this, and when they first awaken to it, it does seem to me that there's a risk that they'll not know what to do, and that they'll think to themselves that they can't do anything consequential to address that issue. And I think about the world's oceans and just reading about them. You read about these 5 enormous garbage patches that are just floating around there and disintegrating and getting into the ocean system and the ocean life at this point. These massive dead zones, this quantity of plastic that will soon outweigh all of the fish in the ocean. And so I think that people might ask themselves, well, where do you start to address situations that are this extreme and this large? And I guess my question to you is, how do you avoid resignation to this reality, or even despair in response to a situation like this?
I would say the first step is what you were just doing. We need to be aware without being afraid of what we are going to discover, or the fact that we might experience a sense of lack of power, lack of control, or growing despair for how we feel our abilities are limited compared to the size of the problems. That would be, from my point of view, already a very important step, that we do not keep our eyes closed on what is happening, because this is what helps us to see what we can do concretely to address these challenges. Second, we'll say, again, can we reaffirm the fact we want to care, that we want to find a solution, that we want to promote care for our planet, eliminating those patches, cleaning our oceans, avoiding polluting them further, producing in ways that will not add plastic to the planet and to the oceans. The third step, I would say, is, can we find a way in which we can facilitate engagement? So we need, as you indicated, to see concretely how we can engage ourselves. And we need to see that even if it's something more little, it can have an impact and can make a difference. Now, we have seen that a young woman, a young adolescent, a 16-year-old, is able to have an impact globally because of the transparency, boldness, clarity, courage, and dedication that she has. We could say, if I place myself, when I was 16 years old, I didn't think that I would be able to have an influence globally. But now the world allows, it seems, with media of communication, the possibility of seeing a space for an engagement that is going to make a difference. This is an example. We can think of more local engagements. Let's say, into educational context, teaching on this. My students, address this as a case that they need to discuss when we reflect on the topic of water at the end of studying theological contributions on water together with scientific contributions. And so they face in themselves the challenge of lack of hope, but they need also to, becoming aware, see how they can, in their own lifestyle, try to avoid using, producing, and wasting plastic. Also, we could say, already someone is working. There is a very interesting website of people engage in trying to clean up and trying to find the funds to do that, and also developing the technology that will help them to clean those tragic patches. So can we find a way to support their work, to share their commitment, their passion? And more globally, what can we do to reduce pollution, to produce using alternative green materials that will not be accumulated in the ocean like that plastic? Can we share best practices again, whether it is in education, in workplaces, among groups of people, even groups of friends, or using the social media. So I would want that seeing the problems allows us to judge our reality and find ways to act according to the threefold approach of see, judge, and act, so that we still have time, hopefully, to do something for the protection of our common home.
Thank you for watching the Future Frogmen Conversation Series. Please check out our website at www.futurefrogmen.org.